Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachar Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai. I will quickly share my screen. One second.
Hare Krishna. Sakale Tulsi Maharaj.
So we are going to discuss SB 1.8.30 Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1st, chapter number 8 and shlok number 30. Is my screen visible, the shloka?
Yes, Prabhu.
One devotee can be my chorus. Thank you, Mother, for
Yes.
confirming. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.30. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatho Jayam Udhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी हरे कृष्ण श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो नंबर 1 चैप्टर नंबर 8 श्लोका नंबर 30 जन्म कर्म च विश्वात्मन् जन्म कर्म च विश्वात्मन् अजयस्य कर्तुरात्मनः अजयस्य कर्तुरात्मनः तिर्यानिरीशिषु यादशु तिर्यानिरीशिषु यादशु तत् अत्यंत विडंबनम. So word by word meaning: Janma, birth; Karma, activity; Cha, and Vishwatmana, O soul of the universe; Ajasya, of the unborn; Akartuhu, of the inactive; Atmanaha, of the vital energy; Tiryak, animal; Ra, human being; Rishishu, in the sages; Yadashu, in the water; Tat, that; Atyant, veritable; Vidambanam, bewildering. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Of course, it is bewildering, O soul of universe, that you work, though you are inactive, and that you take birth, though you are the vital force and the unborn. You yourself descend amongst the animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. Purport. The transcendental pastimes of the Lord are not only bewildering, but also apparently contradictory. In other words, they are all inconceivable to the limited thinking power of the human beings. The Lord is all pervading supersoul of all existence, and yet he appears in the form of a boar amongst the animals, in the form of a human being as Rama, Krishna, etc., in the form of Rishi like Narayana, and in the form of an aquatic like a fish. Yet it is said that he is unborn and he has nothing to do. In the Shruti mantra, it is said that Supreme Brahman has nothing to do. No one is equal to or greater than him. He has manifold energies, and everything is performed by him perfectly by automatic knowledge, strength, and activity. All these statements prove without any question that the Lord's activities, forms, and deeds are all inconceivable to our limited thinking power. And because he is inconceivably powerful, everything is possible in him. Therefore, no one can calculate him exactly. Every action of the Lord is bewildering, and to the common man, he cannot be understood by the Vedic knowledge. But he can be easily understood by the pure devotees because they are intimately related with him. The devotees therefore know that although he appears amongst the animals, he is not an animal, nor a man, nor a rishi, nor a fish. He is eternally the Supreme Lord in all circumstances. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapatakamelam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Saitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचलं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्येश्वरम् Hare Krishna. So, first of all, I would like to thank Matrapati Prabhuji for giving me this opportunity to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to be a part of this wonderful prayers of Kunti Maharani, which is going on, which all of you have also taken part into. So, it is said that those who are hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they benefit, and those who are talking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even they benefit. So that is what happens when you are in Krishna consciousness. It is a win-win situation. Person never loses when they are in Krishna consciousness, when they are connected with God in some manner. They are never a loser. So I was hearing a lecture of Gauranga Das Prabhuji 2 days back. It was a Srimad Bhagavatam series which Prabhu is giving in Govardhan Eco Village. So in Govardhan Eco Village. So Prabhu was mentioning that sometimes when we go and pray in front of Krishna, so Krishna knows that this person is not qualified, and he is simply coming and praying, so he must have certain conditions to fulfill. Only then I'm going to show some mercy on him. But next to Krishna there is a personality, very beautiful personality, who is Radharani. So Radharani tells Krishna that, Krishna, you are thinking he is qualified or not, but I tell you he is qualified because he is in the temple. Instead of going anywhere else, he has come to the temple and he is taking your darshan. So he is very qualified. So see, Radharani gives her, recommendation, and that is how we become dear to Krishna. Just give me a second. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so we were talking about when we are in devotional service, it is a win-win situation for us. We have so many personalities who are helping us. Hanumanji becomes very pleased if he sees somebody taking the name of Lord Ram. So he is very, very, supportive of the person. He becomes very joyful and helpful. So in this shloka, we are seeing, people do not know about the Lord. Correct. They do not know about the Lord, and that is why they are confused. They get bewildered. They don't understand that can Krishna be taking a form? How is it possible? Like one lecture I was hearing, Amarendra Prabhuji, he was mentioning. So Krishna, when he was in Vrindavan, no one was considering him as God. No one was taking him seriously also. So one day, one rishi came and he told his, Krishna's friends that, you know what, your friend is not an ordinary person. He is God himself. So when Madhu Mangal, Subala, Balram, they all heard him, they were all laughing, holding their stomach. Then so that the sadhu will says, no, no, don't think I'm joking. This is serious. Your friend Krishna is God. He's very powerful. He's the supreme personality. And when Krishna used to tell his friends and gopis that, you know what, I was Lord Sri Ram in my previous incarnation, and I was an efficient archer. I could shoot arrows like anything. I was very powerful, and I knew that Ravana is against the dharma. So I took the form of Ram, and then I came and destroyed. I came and destroyed Lanka, and I came and established Vibhishan as king. So that is me. So gopis, they will laugh. They will say, Krishna, don't you know that even we have read Ramayana? So don't bluff with us. Even I know Ramayana. I know you are not Ram. You cannot be Ram. So they were laughing at Krishna. And not only them, even Nanda Maharaj, if you see, when Krishna will, on the banks of Yamuna, there's something happening. So Krishna will say, my dear father, you don't worry, I will take care of him because I'm very powerful. So Nanda Maharaj, he will hear everything. Then he will tell Krishna, okay, तुम्हारा हो गया, चलो अभी जाओ, चप्पल उतारो, जूते उठाओ, कपड़े उठाओ, घर जाओ. So he was like, take your slippers, take your shoes, and or your clothes, go home, I'll take care of things. So nobody was taking Krishna, understanding Krishna as God. Of course, they were in love with Krishna, and that is how that love was something which was, a friendly relationship was better than, worshipping somebody. So Krishna was also having that reciprocations with the residents of Vrindavan. But see, nowadays people do not understand God at all, because they want to go to different process and methodology, and there are so many people who are explaining about God in a very incorrect way. Those people are more dangerous, because they will explain about God, which is not the right explanation. So people are not understanding God, and they are trying different ways, and that is how they are getting bewildered. So I remember one very good, small analogy Prabhupada had given in one of the lectures I was listening. And here also we see that how Krishna is always protecting Pandavas. So the story is like this. There were four people, in the kingdom of a king. And these four people, they were, so king was very happy with them. So king will ask, okay, you ask me what you want, and I will give you. So the first person, he will think, okay, let me ask something. Then he will think, okay, give me a big house. So the king says, okay, the big house I will grant you. Fine. Then the next one says, you know what, I want, I have a big house already, but the roads are not good towards my house. Like, when we buy a site in the remote, so we see that, we have to go through the villages. So the road is not good, this person will say. And so the king will say, okay, fine. You know what? I will grant you this condition, and you can. We will ensure that you have very good roads towards your house. So the person is happy. Third one. So third one says, you know what? I have a house. I have good roads. You know what? I want to marry somebody who is very beautiful, and maybe a daughter of a king or somebody. So the king, this person says, okay, we'll see something and we will do something about it. The king will give assurance. Then the fourth person, he is the most intelligent person. The fourth person will ask, see, I don't want anything. You know what? I want to stay. I want this service of yours, so that you can come and stay in my house for 1 month. For 1 month, you stay with me, and that is what I want. So the king will say, okay, fine, granted. So I will come and stay with you for 4 months, for 1 month. And then when king comes and stays, so when his king is about to come and stay in his house, so that point of time, what happens? All these, you know, the ministers, they will come and they will see this house where the king is going to stay. Is it a good house? They will say, oh, the house is very small. The king cannot stay in this, the Chakravarti Samrat cannot stay in this house. make a big palace immediately. So they will create a big palace, and this, so that is how this person's palace is ready. And then the other person will say the palace is ready, but the roads are bad. Okay, fine. So let's do one thing, prepare some good roads also, because king is going to come. Nowadays also we see, when prime minister is visiting, or some, different country, US president is visiting Bangalore or something, they immediately do some, what do you call it? Construction work and some cleaning work and gardening, all those things. They do it so that so when these presidents or prime ministers, some VIPs are passing through, they can see, oh, the road is very good, the city is very nice, clean. So they even those people, the kingdom in the king. So all kingsmen, they were trying to make good roads. And then when the king comes and stays in this person's house for 1 month, he was very pleased, with this service attitude. And so eventually the king decides that, okay, I will marry my daughter with you, because I was looking for somebody who is very responsible, and you are the most responsible person I have seen, because you're not greedy. You did not ask me anything. You just asked my service. And see, when this person did like this, he got a house, he got a, better roads, he got a very good wife as well. And he became a proper, permanent relative, the son-in-law of a king. So this is what happens. Prabhupada explains that, when you are asking God so many small things, so that will not be a very good, a very good boon to ask. So it is not right, like you go in front of king and king will say, ask whatever you want to ask. And then we come in front of the king and we say, my dear king, I want 1 dozen of bananas. So king will give bananas, but it is not a very right thing to go in front of a king and asking a dozen of bananas. Dozen of bananas you can get anywhere. If you have come in front of the king, you ask something good. So that is how, if you are praying to God, don't ask for these small, like yesterday Matrapati Prabhuji was explaining, that a devotee never asks all these material things for his life, because he knows it is there only for some time. So he will use his time and energy for these things only as much as it is like, most necessary. Otherwise, the person is not asking all these stupid material boons from God. God, give me house. God, give me a good wife. God, give me some, high marks in my education, all those things. It is good to ask, but yes, it is not that, you are always asking only these things. But because we have to remember our real Swarupa, Jiver Swarupe Hoy Krishner Nityadas. Our real Swarupa is that then we are the servant of the servant of the servant of the God. Das Anudasa. So that is intelligent, right? You shouldn't be asking something, which is going to be useful for some time, but instead you should ask something which is going to be there eternal. You shouldn't be asking something which comes to you and goes away. Correct? You ask a very good body, you may be getting very good body, but it will go away, right? You'll become old. You ask a very beautiful wife, a Miss Universe. So if Miss Universe will come, and then after a few years she'll become mother of the universe. So even that is gone. So everything is gone. So that is why in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, Krishna is saying those who are less intelligent, they will ask all these boons from the demigods, and those who are very intelligent, they pray to me, and I will take care of them and take them away from this place of misery. So that is how our prayer should be. So I was yesterday, I mean, not yesterday, Saturday, there was a Bhakti Riksha happening in my house. And thanks to all your devotees, because you have been coming to my house, and also some of the senior Vaishnavas have also come. Haripat Prabhuji had come with Palani Mataji in my house. So my house, I consider like, it is purified, and it is, it is like a small temple. And that is what I have saved in the Google, my house location as mini temple. So the point I'm trying to make here is that in the Bhakti Riksha, we were having a small group discussion. Do you remember what is one question which comes in all the Siksha papers which we write, from Shraddhavan, Sevak, Sadhak, Upasak, Prabhupada Ashray, Guru Ashray? There's one question which keeps repeating. Can you tell me what is that question? Devotees who have written Siksha papers. So that question is, do you accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead? That is the question. And that's the kindergarten knowledge, the very first part. Do you accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead? So there are so many references about it, but we do not write many. We write only few references that, it is mentioned in Brahma Samhita, it is mentioned in Bhagavatam, and, all the sages mention that, and things like that. But the group discussion which we were having in my house that day in the Bhakti Risha, the new members. So I told them, you have, you take help of Google Baba, and figure out the references from the Shastras, which clearly define that, Krishna is the Supreme Personality. So, how many references they searched? I made 3 small teams. One team was a kids team, and 2 were like one Prabhuji's team and Mataji's team. Can somebody guess how many references they searched from the Google? And these references are all valid references from the scriptures. Take a wild guess. 1 reference, 2 reference, 3. Hare Krishna, you are there. You can
5.
comment on Google. I mean, you can comment on chat if you are not able to unmute and speak. 20 reference, Rajanath Prabhu says. Okay. Okay. So it is
more than 50, Prabhuji.
more than
50. 50.
Okay. So I
More
gave
than
only
10,
I gave them
Prabhuji.
only 10 minutes of time. So Rajanath Prabhu is closest. The Prabhu, they got 17 references, and I will be sending these references in the WhatsApp. So you can go through these shlokas at your leisure time, and you can see that how clearly in the scriptures it is mentioned that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because we do not read scriptures, we are bewildered. Devotees and non-devotees are bewildered. Sometimes they have doubts. Like once Gaurangadas Prabhu was saying that one devotee was chanting nicely 16 rounds, attending all Mangal Aarti, and then he had some problems in his life. So he'll go in front of the altar and he will say, चैंटिंग कर रहा हूँ, आपको दिख रहा है कि नहीं? मतलब आप देख रहे हैं कि नहीं, कहीं मिस तो नहीं हो जा रहा है मेरा चैंटिंग? इतने दिन से चैंटिंग कर रहा हूँ बट कुछ हो नहीं रहा है, आप हो कि नहीं हो करके. So मतलब he started having doubts. But that is the beauty in a devotee's life, because Krishna, when he enters, he will do what is good for us. And we might not understand, oh, this is happening, that is happening, but remember, that is the best thing, the best package which you have got, which Krishna is doing in your life. So when you are surrendered to Krishna, nothing is happening by chance. Nothing is happening by chance. It is all well planned by Krishna. So instead of doubting on that, we should go in the flow and have full faith. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. That should be the faith that Krishna will surely protect, like Krishna had protected so many residents in Vrindavan. When Aghasura came, Bakasura came, Krishna entered in the mouth of a python to protect the devotee. Krishna lifted Govardhan hill to protect the devotees. He has done all, wonderful task which is unimaginable. And people who do not know Krishna, they will think, oh, this can be exaggeration. Oh, he was only a coward boy. What? He was not a god and all. If he was a god, he would not be playing with his Gopa boys. Sometimes these Gopa boys are, climbing on the shoulder of Krishna. What kind of god is he? He is eating food from the left hand. What kind of god he is? And they will say that Krishna used to steal the food from the mouth of the Gopas and snatch and eat it off. What kind of god he is? He will eat off that the fire. The entire forest was burning, and he will tell his friends, you sleep on the floor, and he will eat all the fire. So Krishna is like that. People do not know and they keep commenting. So thus, yes, there are 17 references which say these things about, about the Lord and how powerful he is, and also about the demigod's position. So I will quickly just read it out, and then anyways, I will be sending in the WhatsApp. So it is from Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Bhagavad Gita 10.12 to 13, Bhagavad Gita 5.29, where Krishna is saying, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarvalok Maheshwaram. Then Bhagavad Gita 7.7, Bhagavad Gita 18.78, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.28, Srimad Bhagavatam 4.24.42, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3.12 to 15. You know what? This Srimad Bhagavatam 6th canto is interesting because the person who is talking about Krishna is Yamraj, and he's telling his Yamdutas that, my dear Yamadutas, you were thinking I am God, but no, there is somebody who is even powerful than me, and he is God. So Yamadutas were confused. I thought you are God, because when we go, everybody runs away. But this time when we went to Ajamila, they chased us out. How did this happen? So at that point of time, Yamraj will tell this shloka 6.3.12 to 15, and he will say, never go to somebody who is wearing a tilak, who is wearing a kanthimala, who is taking the name of the Lord. You should never go to them. That is the instruction of Yamraj. So just see, Yamraj himself is saying, you are not going to Yamadutas, you are not going to the person who is wearing a tilak. And that is why wearing tilak is important, wearing kantimala is important, and chanting 16 rounds is important because it's a scriptural guidance. Just imagine, people do not wear tilak, people do not wear kantimala, Because some people say, Prabhu, in office, sometimes I have to eat onion, garlic, Prabhu this, Prabhu that. But see, you're not understanding. There is a big, risk you are having. When the Yamuduta comes, they can come in any form, anytime. And if a devotee is also quitting the body early or late, they are not approached by Yamadutas. Krishna protects, he says that I'm going to protect my devotee. So even if the body is not protected, he protects the soul of the devotee and he takes him along with himself. That is the assurance of Krishna which is giving. But instead of that, we say, oh, in the office I have to take tea sometimes. So many excuses we keep giving. You cannot wear like this tilak, you can wear a water tilak, and in the body you can wear proper tilak. There are so many solutions are there, but the devotees do not approach the leaders and they try to take excuse. And then Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.18 talks about Krishna being supreme. Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd canto 11th chapter 42 number shloka. Brahma Samhita full of references, 5.1, 5.29, 5.50. Vishnu Puran 1.2.28. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 5.142. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.7. So these are the some of the references which devotees found out in my class when we had this Bhakti Riksha, where they were writing Siksha papers. Just imagine if you sit and study how many references you will be having. And that is why it is important that we read these scriptures and we become so efficient and powerful that we do not consider Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead because somebody is telling me, or I cannot even justify if somebody asks me that, can you tell me how Krishna is Supreme? So if you cannot do that much also, just imagine what Krishna consciousness life we are leading. Is even a small explanation that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I will end with this last point. My son, he was saying yesterday that in his school, so many people, they say these, these transgenders who are there on the traffic signal. So some person told him that, these people are very powerful, their blessings are very good and they are God. So I said, everything is okay, but when you say they are God, you need to scientifically explain that. You need to explain, from the Shastras, and then you can decide whether they are God or not God. Then we had a small discussion. Then I said, if let's see scientifically if they are God, are they very powerful? Are they, if you go and pray to them, can they fulfill everything? If they can fulfill everything, then why are they, begging on the traffic signals? So logically and scientifically speaking, they are not God, correct? And then other example from Shastras also, you see, there are some opulences which are mentioned about God. There are 6 opulences which are very clearly given. Opulences are called Bhaga, and somebody who has got those occupances is called Van, Bhagavan. So that is the explanation of, so do they have those opulences? All beautiful, all powerful, all rich, all renunciation? They do not have. So scientifically also they do not, we cannot consider them as God, and logically also it is not possible. And with the, through the scriptures also, we cannot consider them as God. So that is how we need to be very, very, strong in our philosophy, so that our knowledge is, so that we do not have doubt at least. Sometimes we may have doubts that, I'm doing so much, but still nobody is recognizing me, nobody is identifying me. Even if anybody not identifies, Krishna is there, always he is identifying. And that is how we should cooperate, especially I would say that the senior leaders who are there in our group, Matrapati Prabhuji, Parabhakti Mataji, Vrajanath Prabhu, Radha Vrajvilasini, Devidasi Mataji, and I'm also taking care of the sector. So if you all start cooperating with your, with your scheduled time, we are not telling you to give your 24/7, but you can tell that, Prabhuji, my slot is this much and I have got so much time, so I can do this service or I can take up that service. And taking service is not that, we just be a part of it, thinking that, okay, I will just be a part of it and I will go away. Taking service is like taking complete overall responsibility. And that is how, that is when we grow. Even Guru Maharaj says that, until unless you start taking responsibilities, there is no growth in Krishna consciousness. We will think, okay, I'm going to the temple, I'm showing my face, and that is it. That itself is very big thing I'm doing. It is good, better than doing nothing. But see, there are so many responsibilities which are there with the senior leaders. You can go request them that, Prabhuji, can I take up something? Can I be a part of it? Then you are part of the Krishna consciousness movement. Until unless you do not take responsibilities, then your leader will be suffering. He'll be running here, there, arranging everything. You will call the leader 110 times asking for them. the leader should come first, and the leader will will be the last one to leave. Then after that, leader will have to go for the meetings, and then when you have to remember that leader has a life. He also goes for office. He also has children's. So these are the things. When we start thinking about Vaishnavas, then the growth is there, and then we can understand Krishna. That's the beauty. Until unless we are cooperating with the devotees, we are not respecting devotees. Until unless we are not caring the devotees, then Krishna is not going to reveal himself. And that is what happens. You cannot know Krishna by your own knowledge, or by reading books, or by thinking that I will do this tapasya and Krishna has to come and reveal. Krishna will not come. Nobody can bind him, only his devotees. And on the other hand, if you start serving the Vaishnavas, then Krishna immediately becomes pleased, and he will reveal. When Krishna will reveal, then you can see, then you can understand Krishna. Otherwise, you will come to the temple, go from the temple, you will do all other stupid activities. Don't take Krishna consciousness seriously, and just say, Prabhu, I'm adding Krishna in my life. Adding Krishna in the sense, I will do everything. In between, I will take one name of Krishna also. So that is not adding. You will be cheated in the end. So with this, I would like to give a pause here. Thank you so much for your patience and attentive hearing. And I will stop here. If I have committed any mistakes, please forgive me. With my limited knowledge, I have tried to share some realizations which I had got, which were related to the shloka, and whatever I have heard from the senior Vaishnavas lectures. So I tried to just kind of sum up these points. So thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. I'm open for questions now, or any comments if you may have.